Hey guys, this is TheRealQwade with another tournament battle video for the Generation Tournament. I'm against Treecko4Ubers in this one. He's got a Gen 2 team, and he did bring Politoed, which means that we're going to have a weather war, so I really have to be careful. If he can keep his Politoed healthy, I'm going to be in real trouble, so hopefully I'll be able to do my best and pull out a win on this one. Although I'm sure you guys have seen the results already, so you kind of know what to expect for this one. But we'll go through watching it anyway, just for the sake of completion. So he leads with his Crobat. I led with my Nidoking. I really didn't have anybody favorable matchup-wise. Like if I led with Ninetales, if he led with Politoed, I'd be in trouble. If I led with this Nidoking is really the safest lead that I had. So he goes for a U-turn. Nidoking's going to resist it, which is fine. He decides to bring out his Xatu. And I looked at his team, and I saw that most of them, I was expecting a U-turn or just a straight switch, so I figured the Ice Beam would be my best bet to hit most of what he has. So Xatu goes down in one shot. It was a crit, but we were talking in the chat, and he said his Xatu is actually offensive, so the crit probably wouldn't have mattered just because of Nidoking's power. So Crobat's coming back. He becomes a Brave Bird. I was kind of hoping for another U-turn, but I really didn't have a safe switch against this Crobat that I really wanted to. And my Nidoking, he would have been able to knock out, you know, Gligar probably would have been a pretty easy knockout, but the rest of them he might have struggled with because of his low speed. So, go for my Ninetales. I'm trying to get the weather up there, maybe bait out his Politoed. So I actually expected a switch here, but he comes at me with another Brave Bird. So I see this thing, it keeps going down. I'm like, what the hell? And at this point I realize he's got a Choice Band on him, so this is going to be a huge problem. If I had known he was banded, I would have come right at him and attacked him. And I just would have ended the problem there. But now this is a real issue because I can't lose my Ninetales, because then my Victory Bell becomes useless. So I have to sacrifice something else in the meantime. So Aerodactyl's the best one I have left, because Kangaskhan would become useless if I switch it out into an attack. Victory Bell will get one-shotted. And Tentacruel can't really do anything to... It can kind of scare out Crobat a little bit, but I was hoping for a Speed Tie and a knockout here, but it didn't go out that way. So Aerodactyl's going to fall here. So this Crobat's pretty much doing a lot of work against my team, which I do not like. So thanks to the Sun that Ninetales brought out, my Victory Bell will outspeed it. Like I said, this Crobat pretty much ruins my team, so I wanted to knock it out. I couldn't risk him staying in with it and hitting him, because the other, my Leaf Blade might not have killed it. Sludge Bomb might not have killed it because he's got resistances on both, so I went for the Weather Ball. That would have knocked it out for sure. He does switch to Politoed, which is a little unfortunate, because I probably would have been able to do some awesome damage to Politoed with a Leaf Blade. But it didn't work out that way, so I didn't know what he was going to do with this Politoed. In retrospect, I probably should have kept Victory Bell in, but the fact that it wasn't in the Sun, it would have been a pretty big issue. So I decided to switch to Tentacruel, get the Toxic Spikes out there, and do some other general support in there as well. So these two Pokemon can't really do a whole lot of damage to each other outside of status effects, which is fine by me, because I can set up the Toxic Spikes and just go from there, because he's gonna take some pretty good damage from those Toxic Spikes. So he goes for Scald again. This time he manages to land a burn on my Tentacruel, which is really unfortunate, because Tentacruel would have been tanking those hits pretty good, but now the burn is going to take effect. It's just a matter of time before Tentacruel goes down. And thanks to the fact that I've already lost two Pokemon, and my Ninetales was so weakened by the Crobat, I really can't switch to anybody else. So I decided to use an Ice Beam in the off chance that he would have switched to his Gligar. Although in retrospect, my Scald probably would have done more to Gligar since we are in the rain anyway. But I saw that he wasn't going to switch Politoed out, so I know he's going to come at me with Scald. Like I said, I really can't take it with anything else. I need to keep my Ninetales alive, because otherwise Victory Bell is useless. Victory Bell, I'd have wanted to avoid taking as much damage as Victory Bell as possible. Plus the Sun is not up, so it's just going to become fodder if I do send it out, and Kangaskhan is going to be useless against anything. if I switch it into an attack, it has to be revenge. So I basically have to sacrifice my Tentacruel at this point, which is really unfortunate, because he does a great job of actually walling Politoed, and under other circumstances, he probably would have come out on top, but I can't get a burn to save my life, so this is just going to keep ticking away. I just hope for a burn, because if I land a burn, then Kangaskhan will be able to finish him off for sure no matter what. But it doesn't come down to that. I get another crit, but I don't get the burn that I want. Statistically, I probably wouldn't have. I think I only hit him with 3 Scalds, so we're still in the okay range, but it's still frustrating that I didn't get it. So Tentacruel is going to fall to the burn damage whenever that takes effect here shortly. There it is. So things are looking pretty bad for me at this point. Like I said, the other Pokemon I have left pretty much can't do anything, so I pretty much have to send out Kangaskhan at this point. Luckily, he misses the Toxic, which is a small token of consideration. So I hit him with the Endeavor. I wasn't sure that he had Toxic, because the only attack that he actually used on this Politoed was Scald, so I didn't know for sure what the set was. But I saw he had Toxic. He's probably going to come at me again to nullify the Endeavor set. So this is going to be a free switch into Victory Bell. So there's the Toxic again, which is awesome, because now he's going to have to switch. I'm predicting a switch into Crobat, because it's not in the sun. He's going to be able to outspeed me, and Crobat takes pitiful damage from my stabs. But he doesn't. He actually brings out his Feraligatr, which is a little risky, switching a water type for another water type, because if I had come at him with a Leaf Blade, he would have been one-shotted and it would have been over. But fortunately, I don't know if it was a double prediction type effect, but he manages to survive it, and he's going to be able to come at me with an Aqua Jet this turn and do some more damage to Victory Bell here. It's pretty good damage, actually, even though it's resisted, but in the rain, you know, these things will happen. But I will be able to finish him off with a Leaf Blade this time, so it's a little consolation prize. Victory Bell is doing something at least, but we're too far behind at this point. The only real way is, even if I get Victory Bell growth in the sun, he's still got Scissor that can Bullet Punch me, and Scissor's Bullet Punch probably will be able to one-shot me, so there's nothing I can really do at this point anyway. So here comes Crobat. Like I said, I can't really, because now I'm at such low hit points that there's no way I'm going to survive any Scissor attack, so I basically have to sacrifice my Victory Bell. And hope that he'll fall to the Brave Bird damage, which he doesn't, of course. And I don't know how much health if I knew how much hit points he had left, basically, if I knew if he had 1 or not, I would have sent up my Kangaskhan and just Sucker Punched him. Because Kangaskhan only can pretty much do 1 damage, so he'd have to have exactly 1 hit point for that to work, so it's like, And Ninetales isn't going to be able to do anything against anybody that he's got left. Even Scissor's Bullet Punch would probably be able to knock him out at this point, so strangely enough, the best chance I had left is my level 1 Kangaskhan of the, the 2 Pokemon I have remaining, so here comes Kangaskhan. Thanks to the Toxic Spikes, though, this Politoed will die if it stays in, which is the nice thing about Endeavor with Toxic Spikes, is that it has a nice little side effect to it. So he goes for Perish Song. I think it's largely unnecessary at this point. I got the odds stacked pretty heavily against me anyway, but Kangaskhan does get another knockout. He did most of the work on this Politoed anyway, so it's not like it was just sort of a last-ditch effort. The first Endeavor pretty much knocked it down anyway, so just for the sake of completion, Kangaskhan's going to finish the job here. So I got 3 turns left. He goes for his Gligar. Now, I'm assuming this is Eviolite, so he doesn't have leftovers, which is nice, but he does have Toxic, which is unfortunate because it's going to break my Sash, and then I'm not going to be able to pull off my Sucker Punch combo on this one. So this will knock him down to 13. Whenever it finishes up here. But it's largely, I mean, he could just Earthquake me. I don't know why he opted to use Roost. Maybe he was expecting that Sucker Punch does more damage, but Sucker Punch really, a level 1 Sucker Punch pretty much does 1 damage to anything. I tested it off against a standard Gengar set, I think. I ran the numbers on it, and it did 1. So if a Gengar is taking 1 damage from it, there's no way that anything is going to take anything more than that, because Gengar's defenses are awful. So he just goes for the Earthquake and finishes the job here. So good game. My team led me pretty far. I was happy with the performance of the Kangaskhan. I had some unfortunate weaknesses when I made my team. I didn't really test it at all, actually. So some coverages I probably should have had, I didn't. But it was fun overall. Victory Bell, I think, got some good exposure for its utility. Endeavor, the Fear set, had a nice little showing on it. So, and of course, Tentacruel and Nidoking continue to do their standard work. So, good game, good tournament to everybody who's involved and who will still, because it's still going on right now. We don't have the winners yet. So, good luck to everybody still remaining. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.